Welcome to Memorial Stadium. What a beautiful, gorgeous evening we have here. Cole Weaver sitting alongside the Ballard FC legend, Lars Heller. And welcome back to the booth, my friend. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Of course, of course. Well, just a quick preview of the match we have today. Obviously, we're about 14 minutes away from kickoff here. Ballard FC sitting in second place against the league leaders at the moment, PDX of Portland, Oregon. And to start, we want to go through very briefly what happened last time out. Obviously, Ballard FC with a little bit of turbulence before coming into this match, and a couple of weeks of games that haven't been going up to date so far.
James, obviously not the result we wanted, but we still control our own destiny for the playoffs. So how do you get the guys to look forward?
You do that. I mean, I think, my staff is experienced enough where we've been around the block. We know it's a marathon, not a sprint. You never want to get too high or too low for your results. Like you said, we have 2 more games, one of which at home, the other on the road, and we control our own destiny. So that will be the script that we tell the boys. I thought they battled fantastic. I thought they created plenty of chances. I thought they went about the game the right way. For me, goals change games. I thought their penalty kick against the run of play, allows them to sit in a lower bunker. I thought there's a penalty shout late for us to get. I mean, those are the breaks that we're not getting. And it's unfortunate, but we control and we build our own luck. And I always say preparation plus opportunity equals you create your own luck. So we'll just get back to the drawing board, give these boys a few days off to rest and rejuvenate, and then we'll look to finish the regular season strong and put ourselves in playoff contention.
A lot of your chances came at the end of the game once subs came on. Myers' cross went to Mejia, hit the post. Kojo almost won a penalty down there. Is that a sign of just the deep bench you have, and will we see more of these subs?
Absolutely. I mean, we've been very blessed and fortunate, and we're grateful to this player pool. We have a fantastic roster that's very deep, and we'll continue to make changes, and certainly our subs were able to change the game a little bit, but even our starters did fantastic. So it's one of those, we'll keep the group together, think positively, and then, like you said, we control our own destiny, so we don't need help from anyone. We get results in the next 2 games, we control it. So that's the mindset we'll approach it with.
All right. Thanks, James.
Thank you.
Very difficult outing last time against Lane United. Obviously not the result that Ballard wanted. A 1-0 defeat coming off of a penalty kick and a very strong defense from the Oregon side led to the demise of Ballard, and unfortunately not able to take away any points from that match, and led to a very large match here tonight as we take a look at the starting lineups for both United PDX and Ballard FC. Starting with the visitors, United PDX in goal, Davis King, and it's a matchup of a 4-3-3 against a 4-3-3. Anthony Godinez, Ryan Luckwich, Michael Hatcher, Mo Mohammed lining up the back 4, a midfield trio of Marios Andrio, Oliver Gassing, and Sean McDowell. A front 3 of Loic Barres, Jackson Finn, and up the middle, Isaiah Easley. On the Ballard FC side of things, a couple changes here, namely by injury. In goal continues Charlie Lamphere. A back four with Luke Hammond on the left side. Christian Engman captains the side alongside Damian Alvarez. On the right side, we'll see Kai Briscoe on his continuing of his right flank that he'll look to provide some attacking threat as well. A midfield trio of Sean Sant, Juan Alvarez, and Peter Kingston continuing their partnership and looking to provide both continuous possession throughout the match as well as attacking opportunities. A new-looking front three of Richie Amon, Charlie Gaffney, and Alex Mejia comes into the side for a rare start this season, coming off a couple injuries in the forward position, looking to see the very experienced USL2 former professional on the Honduras side, Alex Mejia, get himself on the score sheet in a very, very large match. Ballard FC so far this season currently sitting in second place, sitting on 7 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws at 23 points. You know, it's a big match for them tonight. Overall through the season, they've had no problems with scoring. 3.08 goals per game average throughout the year, coming up against a side with the best defensive records of United PDX. But recently, a little bit of turmoil. 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss in the last 3 home matches. Peter Kingston, as always, one to watch. He's a player that can cause problems, and look to see him in the center of the park, continuing his partnership in the center as we're changing his role from an outside position to more of a central location. Very much a player to watch throughout today's match. Lane United with a strong run of form recently, finding themselves top of the Northwest Division. 8 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, sitting at 26 points so far. As I mentioned before, very strong defense, 0.67 goals against average throughout the year. And on top of that, in the reverse fixture in Oregon, beat Ballard 2-1 earlier in the year, June 21st. One of the players to watch, Connor Evans, we're not actually seeing him start today, but definitely one to watch going forward as he's their top goal scorer throughout the season. If you want to show your Ballard FC pride and rep the 2023 USL League 2 National Champions in style this season, as the season's coming to a close, still very available to get your Ballard FC merch. Up the bridges wherever you go this summer with an official Ballard FC jersey, shirt, hat, scarf, or jacket. Check out the club's newest jerseys, the Fire and Smoke Away jersey and goalkeeper kit. Lars and I sitting in the booth today, very aware of these and very jealous, I'd say. These are very beautiful kits. Or celebrate the local artists with new Stevie Shao kit and scarf, all available in the club's first official shoot jacket. Check out all of these options and more in person at the merch tent at your next Ballard FC match, which this is actually the last home match of the season, looking to begin the playoff berth. But you can definitely get these online at goballardfc.com/shop. We'll be back here in a little bit as we're going to jump to commercial. Next coming up will be national anthems, player walkouts in the beginning of the first half. It's a beautiful, beautiful Friday evening with a match with everything at stake. Stay tuned, and a word from our sponsors.
There's nothing quite like an Albert Lee appliance showroom. We're part of the community, and we carry over 90 brands and 11 exclusive brands you'll only find at Albert Lee.
We're the most beautiful showrooms in the area. We've got the best salespeople, and yet we're still one of the best price points in the industry.
We are a family. We take care of each other like family, and we take care of the customers like family.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Draw the Space Needle. How would you rate your drawing skills from 1 to 10?
Good 3-7, probably.
Art class wasn't my finest time.
Finishing touches?
God, this is horrible.
Pencils down.
Yo, what the heck is that?
Oh.
I was trying to envision it, and it didn't come out like I wanted it to.
Can you guys draw a portrait of the Ballard FC founder, Sam?
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we talking whole face or body?
Shoot, I forgot his hair.
This is awful.
What is that? It's a portrait.
No,
Not him in the distance.
Hope you appreciate the effort behind the product.
Are you a good artist?
Very artistic.
Who's first? I won, so you go first. Pierce is just is better in general.
Draw the Dix logo.
I think I'm gonna knock this one out the park. I don't know how to draw a cursive. Oh. I've messed it. You're having fun?
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Ah, I missed a star.
I knew there was an apostrophe.
I kind of made my own logo for him. They could try use this one.
Lars Hellerin, what a match we have this evening. So much on the line from a Ballard FC perspective. The agenda is quite simple. We win and we're in. Playoff consequences available tonight. It's number 1 versus number 2, PDX sitting at the top of the table. Ballard FC with a turbulent couple weeks sitting at number 2. 1 point and we clinch a spot in the playoffs. 3 points and we make our way to the top of the table for a chance to challenge for the number 1 seed going into the last match of the game. Lars, you've been in environments like this before, both through your collegiate career as well as your time with Ballard. What are these players thinking coming into this week, and what are they thinking right now as they're having their pregame talks?
I mean, first off, all the players know it's a win and they're in. They know the stakes, so they know they're going to have to put their best foot forward tonight. And what better way to clinch at the last home game in front of the fans?
Without a doubt, it's a beautiful environment today. You couldn't ask for better weather. We've got the backdrop of the Space Needle behind beautiful Memorial Stadium. The fans have come out in crowds. It couldn't be a better day. And so we've got quite a few unique changes. I'd say one of the highlights that I want to point out, Alex Mejia making his way into the starting lineup. Doesn't have the mask tonight. He had a face injury that he had to wear if anybody's watching the Euros, the Mbappe-style mask. But back into the 11 and a proven goal scorer, and definitely one to watch out from a PDX perspective. Lars, what do you see this game unfolding tonight? How do you see both of these teams attacking this type of unique standing structure?
Yeah, I mean, we're looking at one of the best defending teams in the league, and we're looking at one of the best attacking teams in the league. So I think it's just going to come down to whoever blinks first tonight. Everyone's going to have to put their best foot forward, and let's see what happens.
We don't want to skip over any of the PDX consequences on their side. Without a doubt, they're looking to clinch the #1 spot. It hasn't been secured yet. They may have already secured their playoff berth, but a first-place seed comparative to a second-place seed definitely has implications long-term in the tournament. So they'll have an agenda for tonight, without a doubt. Ballard FC at home here has usually been very dominant and very possession-oriented. Very curious to see how this PDX team lines up, how willing they are to try and play through the lines. As we've seen through the season, Ballard FC very willing to press very high up the field. The line of confrontation very much on the 20-yard line, as we see on the football lines here at Memorial Stadium. But at the end of the day, you have to be said, it's the two best teams facing up to each other, and this is what this league is all about. We're expecting fireworks tonight. Following the 4th of July week, the party will continue. The question is, who will it continue for? Recent challenges. Ballard FC looks to solidify its place in the national tournament. The agenda is simple. Win and we're in. 3 points not only clinches playoffs, but also pushes Ballard back to the top of the Northwest Division standings. 1 point gets the job done, but as well as we know, James Riley and the boys won't be satisfied with anything less than a win. We're playing here at Memorial Stadium. 90 minutes of beautiful football ahead of us. Early on, as we're seeing the PDX press, Damian Alvarez filling in for the injured Leo Burney. A little bit of back and forth football. Mejia with a great touch, but Gaffney unable to bring it under control. Lars, we're going to talk about this quite a bit tonight, but from a psychological perspective, you have a team coming in first against arguably one of the best teams in the nation, obviously coming off of such a historic last year season that you were so pivotal in contributing towards. Let's talk on PDX's front first. We're going to come back to that in a second. I'd love to have a conversation, but right away, Ballard FC, Richie Amon driving to the byline, wins a free kick for his side, just outside on the left side of the 18-yard box, and immediately a good opportunity for Peter Kingston to whip in an in-swinging ball here. But Lars, we're going to come back to my point here in a moment. I'm going to put a pin in that. But is this the start that Ballard wanted, and is this the start that PDX wanted?
Yeah, no, this is perfect for Ballard's point of view. This is what they can live for, with a service from Peter Kingston and then the big aerial threats from Christian Engman and Alex Mejia.
Yeah, it has to be said, Alex Mejia is such a presence in the box. He offers so much as a number 9. We see him lining up at the front of the queue. Kingston with the in-swinging service. Very good away by the goalkeeper, Davis King, and actually was awarded a free kick with some contact. What do you think about that, Lars? Foul?
From a goalkeeper's perspective, I may be a little biased on that one, Cole.
Yeah, I'd probably have to agree with you on my side, but you know, any sort of contact on a keeper, it's a dangerous position, and he's putting his body on the line. So, fair play to the ref. He's setting the standard early. He's calling this foul against someone else in the box. That doesn't quite look like where the keeper punched the ball, but minute details. We play on. King goes long. Won by Alvarez. Finds his way back to Alvarez, all the way back to Landfear. Very familiar build-up. We can see the initial shape from PDX. Line of confrontation quite high. Luke Hammond on the near side, under a little bit of pressure, but can't quite keep possession. And Giesing comes away with it. Mohammed. All the way back to Hatcher, to his fellow center back Ludwig. Godinez cuts inside. Peter Kingston doing his defensive duties. Skillful turn away. Charlie Gaffney finds a little bit of space, but immediately closed down and wins a free kick for his side.
It almost looks like Charlie Gaffney was stepped on there for a second.
Yeah, there's immediately put under pressure, and I think this will be a very common theme this evening of PDX not giving a lot of time to the speedy wingsters of Charlie Gaffney and Richie Amon. But time will tell. Amon drives in field, puts the ball out wide to his fullback Luke Hammond, finds Alex Mejia in the top of the box, drives it hard, but the far side referee with an offside flag, presumably on Luke Hammond. From my point of view, I'm a little confused, I can't lie. The crowd definitely showing their dismay. Alex Mejia, fantastic finish with his real first chance opportunity so far this match. But we play on.
That's exactly what Ballard want to keep looking to do. That floated ball to the back post. As you saw, 2 runners on that backside unmarked. Brilliant.
And we're already seeing 5 minutes played, and this is likely going to pan out to be quite a fast-paced game. No surprises with 2 teams that are so solid in their respective specialties. Again, as we talked about pre-game, Ballard, the highest goal-scoring team in the league. PDX United, the best defensive record in the league, and Alex Mejia very clearly offside this instance. No surprises there. Crowd may be unhappy with it, but very obvious from our point of view up in here in the booth. But that's what you want for your number 9. You want them to be on the edge. You want them to be playing the line and always asking the question. One of these opportunities, Mejia is going to have a little bit of time and space. He's not the fastest striker. We have to know this from our time, and Lars, you and I know Mejia very well. But he's very clinical when he has those opportunities.
Yeah, Alex Mejia loves to be the target-style 9, where he loves receiving the ball at his feet and using his strength to hold defenders off. So it's great to see when he's versatile going in behind.
A little bit of careless play from PDX. Richie Amon ultimately with the interception and wins inside a corner first of the match. Very consistent start from Ballard. This was very similar to the start that we had last week at the unfortunate result against Lane United. A lot of possession, early opportunities. None of that matters unless there's execution in the final third, and so far 6 minutes played. Ballard have had a couple opportunities already, but they need to put these chances away if they're going to see this match out. Kingston with the service to the far post. Sean Sent receives the seconds. It's played out, and Giesing comes away with it. Great defensive efforts by Hammond. PDX slow down the play a little bit. On the far side through Godinez. Flicked on to Finn. Pursuing Davian Alvarez. Does very well for his side and wins his harmless goal kick. Hammond with a very good flick on Richie Amon, combining with him. Driving at the back line, winning another free kick for his side. This time it's Mohammed with a little bit of words to the referee, who has nothing of it and shows our first yellow of the match.
Just looking at the placement of this ball from a goalkeeper's perspective is very tough. The ball is almost directly in the sun here. So as you can see, the goalkeeper already has his hand up, and he's not going to be able to see the ball very well until it's very close to him.
Yeah, Lars, you and I were talking about this pre-match. There's one half of the field that's directly affected by this lowering sun setting on the west side here. This is going to be very difficult. They have a good line of confrontation, I'd say, right below the 18-yard box. We've seen teams set their line very deep, and it causes problems. If you're watching any of the Euros, this was a heavy issue that was pointed out quite a bit. Goalkeeper setting their line by the PK box. Peter Kingston with the in-swinging service. Finds his way to the back post. Seconds come out. It's Charlie Gaffney, saved by the goalkeeper. A little bit of a scramble on top of the box. It's Christian Eggman on the ball. But eventually Davis King makes his way on top of it. It's good goalkeeping in the end.
Knockdowns are going to be massive in this first half with that sun in their sides.
Without a doubt, so difficult. PDX struggling to maintain any sort of possession. Calm possession in the back between Lanfear, Eggman, and his step-in center back Damian Alvarez. Very versatile. Lars, you're obviously very familiar with Eggman, or excuse me, with Alvarez.
Yeah, Damian Alvarez is a great player. He's the type of center back that loves to have the ball at his feet, and he loves to build out of the back, which is very admirable soccer.
Definitely suits the style of play for this Ballard side as Eamon comes inside, finds Juan Alvarez looking to chip the keeper as he took a peek and saw Davis King coming off his line, but I think King realized he was in no man's land and elected to stay home at the end. Very good decision. Comes to naught. Free kick one for Ballard, or excuse me, for PDX in the center of the box. As we look at this replay here, it became a scramble very fast. Gaffney got to the end of it, and Eggman was on top, but credit to Davis King once more. Those are difficult situations, and you're really going to rely on your goalkeeper to reduce the pressure. Gaffney, the burst of pace away on the far side from Godinez, squares him up inside to Peter Kingston. One touch on to Eamon on the near side. Continuing the switch of play. In-swinging service off of his left foot. Keep Peter Kingston. Couldn't keep that ball in play. Comes nothing but a goal kick.
Yeah, that's Alex Mejia's bread and butter. He loves that service into the box because he's that aerial threat.
We've seen the intention from PDX already with the goal to play out of the back, but ultimately route one straight forward to Jackson Finn. Does well to bring down to Oliver Giesing. Kubrakov comes back to McDowd. Ludwig across to Kubrakov. First touch at the top of the box. Early shot. Looks like it actually came off the post. Lanfear didn't get a finger to it. But a flashpoint for PDX has some good possession for the first time in this half. Leads to a good opportunity in front of goal. As we see the half volley effort from Oliver Giesing. Just kisses the outside of the post. Charlie Lanfear will be happy.
Fantastic hit there, I gotta say. But Charlie Lamprey for sure had that covered.
Yeah, he definitely did. But it'll be a wake-up call for Ballard as They've become accustomed to this early possession, but too many times recently, Lars, they haven't been able to really manufacture any quality chances that have led to goal-scoring opportunities. Possession for possession's sake, it's a common theme in today's today's game. Too many teams happy with the ball, but not really making anything of it. Strong challenge by Peter Kingston. Center referee quick to blow his whistle, but no cards being pulled.
Yeah, Cole, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how much possession you have. If you score more goals than the other team, you'll obviously win the game.
It's the common cat and mouse that modern soccer, modern football asks continuously. As Jackson Finn puts a little bit of a body on Alvarez. Eventually makes its way to Loic Barnes. Godinez. Peter Kingston with the defensive efforts. Andreu to McDowd. Back to Andreu. Very good build-up play. Makes its way to the far side through Barnes. Alvarez does enough. Finds his fellow Alvarez, Juan. Peter Kingston with a good touch away from pressure. End-to-end football here. Richie Amon drives his way into the box, come on to his favorite right foot, looking for a shot opportunity, but strong defensive efforts as PDX have been doing all season, and any role will do as they look to reset.
Yeah, as you saw, Richie going isolated 1v1 with Mohamed there. United PDX obviously knows that's one of Ballard's strengths. So you saw the other center back tucking over a little bit more to cover for him.
Ballard once more looking to build. Hangman. Sean Sent, University of Washington. Traditional 6 dropping deep between two center backs, allowing the fullbacks to come forward. As we see Kai Briscoe actually ahead of Charlie Gaffney. Not a stranger to the final third of the pitch. Fired in Richie Amon and eventually away from Michael Hatcher.
Yeah, that's one thing that sets apart teams, the changeability in the positions. Not everyone is just stuck to one position, as you can see out there.
I think that's a great point, Lars, because I think that goes to show why Ballard FC has been so prolific in front of goals. So many different goal scorers throughout the season. See, last year in the team that you were a part of with Stas Korzanowski, you always knew who your goal scorer was, and there were plenty of players to offer assists. But at the end of the day, you would expect your number 9 to get the goals. Throughout this season, you've had goals from all sorts of places. You've had goals come from deep, from your center backs. You've had goals come from various different sets of forwards, from wingers, from midfielders, from fullbacks. I'd say, in my opinion, and correct me if you think otherwise, I think that's more valuable at the end of the day when you have diversity of goals.
I would have to agree, because as teams are coming to play Ballard, obviously last year we knew Stas was a big threat, and this year, obviously they can identify just one single person.
Yeah, as we see one of the key players, Juan Alvarez with a fantastic ball into Alex Mejia. Gaffney coming underneath. He holds the play up and double teamed eventually. He's dispossessed, but wins a side of throw. These are opportunities that Ballard really need to take advantage of. Alex Mejia will look to find himself in the center of the box as opposed to out wide. Hammond in a very familiar inverted position. Definitely a tactical positioning by Coach James Riley. It's a commonality in today's game where the fullbacks will tuck inside to allow more space on the wings for the wingers, as we see Richie Amon coming deep, more so in a left fullback position. Very often we see left backs and right backs being converted into central holding players as they have those sort of technical skills. Charlie Gaffney putting a little bit of defensive pressure on the far side. But Ryan Ludwig doing enough to maintain possession. Eventually away, but playing with fire. Because that's definitely not the place you want to give the ball away. Very good work on the far side. Briscoe makes his way to the end line. Oh, but Charlie Gaffney scuffs his opportunity, and Peter Kingston never assumed it would come to his feet. Comes to nothing but a goal kick.
Knowing Peter Kingston, if that bounces his way, that's 100% a goal with his talent.
Yeah, it's such an opportune place in the 18-yard box, right on top of the 6. Charlie Gaffney couldn't quite sort his feet out. Hatcher back to his goalkeeper King. His fellow center back Ludwig. Andreu. Can't connect with Barnes, and Ballard FC retain possession. Lars, I've already seen a change in pressure from PDX early in this match. They were willing to press the goalkeeper. Now, their line of confrontation is even above or below, whichever perspective you want to look at it, the center backs. Do you think that is intentional? Do you think that's down to a lack of fitness? Do you think it's down to a lack of belief they can actually win the ball? What's going through these forwards' minds?
I think one of the things PDX really wanted to demonstrate in the beginning there is they wanted to set the tone high. They wanted to come out high pressing, make Ballard feel the pressure, and then as the game gets settled in, maybe they could save their legs a little bit and drop off.
Definitely an early goal would go a long way from a PDX point of view. Ballard FC doing everything in their power to avoid that, as Mejia does some good forward hold-up play and wins a free kick for a side in a very central location. And center referee not happy with the positioning of the restart. Not an ideal place to serve a ball into the box, so we'll likely see the ball being played short here as we see Christian Eggman on it now. Richie Amen with a cheeky flick all the way through, but leads to nothing. Lars, what a gorgeous evening. Friday night, Seattle, Space Needle backdrop, full stands. I don't know what more you could ask for. These are the type of evenings that we live for as fans, as players, as commentators, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, just even looking across the stadium here, just looking at the stands, it's filled almost all the way to the top, which from a player's perspective, it's very awesome to be a part of.
Obviously our last home game of the regular season. Thank you. I want to give a special shout out to all the Ballard FC fans, and obviously if you're tuning in here, you're probably not at the game or you're in the beer garden. So cheers to everybody that's live with us here. But if you've been to a home game this season, we appreciate you. Today is definitely Fan Appreciation Night, and Ballard FC looking to repay the favor. Juan Alvarez on top of the ball here. Eventually gives it away to Loic Barnes, who clears, and Damian Alvarez should be able to clean this ball up.
I think one of the biggest things Ballard needs to take advantage of in the first half is his son. Just looking at the goalkeeper, his hand has been up the whole time, so I think crosses are massive, and then the second balls from the crosses.
Yeah, Lars, I think you and I have a very unique perspective about that because we've experienced it on the worst side of it, but a player may not see it as the same, and that a normal opportunity that maybe a shooting or a crossing opportunity, they say, I don't know, maybe I need to play the safer ball, but as goalkeeper, we're thankful they play the safer ball because it means we don't have to deal with something awful with the sun in our eyes. So hopefully Ballard can take advantage. Richie Amen drives his way into the box here. Gets a shot off, but strong defending by Mo Mohammed. Luke Hammond does get his service off, but all the way through for a goal kick. Very clear intentions already by Davis King, looking to slow the pace of the match down. These Ballard FC fans have been early to show their voice in supporting their team in a match that they know is a must win. Luke Hammond with the defensive efforts. Mejia coming deep. Good link-up play with Gaffney, but can't connect. Might end up working out in the end, and it does for Richie Amon. Cuts onto his right foot. Inside to Peter Kingston. All hands on deck defensively. Jackson Finn very much by himself. Unlikely to do any sort of real damage to the solid defensive pair of Alvarez and Engman. Sean Sent on top of the ball on the far side, likely to make his way infield, find his more central location.
One of the reasons you could tell United PDX has been so successful defensively is even just looking at all the black jerseys out there, everyone is almost in the 18-yard box. So the whole team is committed to defending here.
Definitely a high focus on low goals against, and done that so far. Kai Briscoe with the long throw centrally. Eggman wins the header, finds his way to the back post. Richie Amon scuffs his opportunity. PDX has one of the strongest defensive records in the league so far this season. 6 clean sheets and allowing more than 1 goal just one time this entire season. On top of that, they've already obviously clinched their playoff berth, as we mentioned, for this season. For them, it's all about positioning so far to be the number 1 or the number 2 seed, as that could very much have significant consequences as we enter the aftermath of the regular season. But Lars, as biased as I am, so far I've been unimpressed with PDX. It's been very long ball, it's been very route one, lack of willing to play out of the box. And once more, wow, I was just about to say once more another scoring opportunity as Mejia was on the wing about to serve a ball into the box, but center referee Justin St. Pierre seeing something off the ball that eventually goes away of PDX.
Yeah, just looking at United PDX's style of play here. They try to build out by playing to their center backs, then their center backs are just kicking the ball to their front four here, and they're living on the second balls.
And immediately on this restart, Lars, if we're looking to the back line of Ballard, I see 1, maybe 2 players in the center of the pitch in McDowd and Kubrikov, but a front line of 4 against Ballard's back line of 4 plus Sean Sen. The intention is clear. Put the ball in the danger area and see what can happen. Jackson Finn connecting well. Giesing with a wayward pass. Foregoes possession for his side.
Yeah, I think the reason for that style of play, Cole, is United PDX, they want to play a little more conservative tonight. They know Ballard's at home. They know Ballard needs to win, so they know more is on the stakes for Ballard.
I don't think anything would be wrong with that. Alec Barnes driving to the end line and winning PDX their first corner kick of the match, as Kristen Eggman does enough to push it over the end line. But head coach Troy Reddy likely would have had a conversation of, look, we're not losing this match. If we walk away with 3 points, fantastic, but 1 point will do. As we know, we'll maintain our first position in the league. We just don't want to give it to Ballard. Left-footed in-swinging service. Skips its way through the near post. Kai Briscoe with a header away. Peter Kingston cleans up the seconds only as far as Kubrikov. Mo Mohammed skipping away from a couple different challenges, strong in the ball. Very good work from the fullback. Mo Mohammed into Oliver Giesing. Wayward touch by center back Hatcher. Throw in for Ballard. Lars, as this game progresses, who would you say would gain more of an edge? Would the continuous pressure from Ballard wear down the PDX defense to a point where maybe cracks might be shown? Or would you say the stronghold of the PDX solid defense throughout the entire season would maybe plant some seeds of doubt in the forward front three of Ballard and maybe reduce their expectations of being able to create goal-scoring opportunities?
I think from the United PDX perspective, they're obviously coming here to win, obviously. And I think they're just going to keep trying to put their best players forward and maybe nick a goal, and then maybe they can defend. But at the end of the day, if they make it to minute 60 here without conceding a goal, I think they're going to be pushing for the draw.
I'd have to agree with you. So definitely looking for the opportunities where Ballard may be overcommitting numbers forward and they can have the opportunity to counterattack very quickly. Because again, we're seeing essentially a front four for PDX. Wouldn't be surprised to see some form of long ball from one of the center backs. When they receive it, very limited options short. They do find the one option of Kubrikov. Who ultimately goes long all the way through to Lamphere.
At the end of the day, though, Ballard has some very experienced USL2 players, so as long as this game goes on, I don't think many of them will blink much, and they won't be nervous at all.
Richie Amon with a fantastic touch, makes his way around Hatcher to the byline. A little bit of a bobble from goalkeeper Davis King, and it ends up in a corner. That's quality work from Richie Amon to stay alive with the play. Davis King might be kicking himself if this ball ends up in the back of the net, as he had two hands on it. But Richie Amon, good work, makes his way through his defender. Ballard looks to go short. Routine set piece here. Not quite what the drawing board predicted. Luke Hammond with some quality feet finds its way to Peter Kingston. Ball into Richie Amon, and another corner produced. It has to be said, two hands on it from Davis King. If you and I are that goalkeeper coach, we're going to be having a conversation at halftime of saying, look, you collect that ball, none of these chances happen. Peter Kingston in-swinging service all the way to the back post. Skips over Davis King, but his defender bailed him out. Back to Kingston. Service over everybody, finds Mejia, blocked by a defender. Gaffney with his back to goal.
Yeah, if I'm the goalkeeper, Davis King, I would be thinking about Peter Kingston's service here. Almost every single cross has gone to that far side. That's where Christian Engman and Alex Mejia tend to be sitting. So maybe adjust his positioning a little bit more towards the far post.
Yeah, it's a strong challenge on Richie Amon, as he's been having so much joy attacking this left side of the field. But the immediate defensive pressure by Ballard wins the ball back. Sean Sent under a little bit. Eventually bailed out by Juan Alvarez, who doesn't do himself any favors, as Giesing chips a ball over the top, but Calmly dealt with by Damian Alvarez, back to his goalkeeper. Mohammed and Giesing connecting well. Eventually finding Loic Barnes, who's switched sides onto this right flank. Referee in the way, ultimately stopping a counterattack for Ballard. And it's in the rule book. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is as we look at some of the opportunities recently here. And as Lars was mentioning, those services making its way over goalkeeper Davis King almost every time. Mejia will definitely be understanding where that ball will be coming and would not be surprised to find him on the end of a couple of these crosses.
Just with the amount of numbers United PDX keeping back, I wonder if it would almost be best to kind of keep the ball for a little bit from Ballard's perspective and see if we could pull some people out.
Luke Hammond finding himself in an advanced position, finding his post up forward of Alex Mejia and a little bit of pressure as he's immediately swarmed. Away comes PDX, and now they have numbers forward. It's Loic Barnes, but solid defensive work. Richie Amon making his way back along with Juan Alvarez, who's now on the ball. Out to Richie Amon. Returns the favor to Juan Alvarez on his favored left foot. Deflection of the service inside. Mejia keeps the ball alive. Richie Amon doing what he does best, driving at the back line to the byline, gets a cutback. And away for nothing but a throw-in, but 34 minutes on the clock, Lars, and it has been nothing but Ballard FC, but unfortunately, from our point of view, 0-0 on the score sheet.
I believe that once the first goal comes, many will follow here.
I wouldn't disagree with that. As Eggman the target on a long throw. Lone man back, Kai Briscoe. This PDX, as we mentioned a couple times, all hands on deck from a defensive effort standpoint. Mejia with the flick on. It was Damian Alvarez and Christian Eggman who elect to stay forward. It's only Sean Sen and Kai Briscoe. Looks like Kai Briscoe coming all the way across to take this throw. And once more, PDX with every man in the box. Barring the lone forward Jackson Finn, who's just on top of the box. Just over the head of Eggman, who has to be said, winning that header might have caused some chaos. Mejia does well to win his challenge. Eggman wins the second, back to Mejia. Mo Mohammed with the defensive duties. Mejia does get to a toe to it, falls to Richie Amon. Hammond with a left foot in swinging service over everybody. Charlie Gaffney unable to keep in play. Ball ends up underneath the hot tub boats, who have made their debut here at Memorial Stadium, as some lucky fans are enjoying this Ballard FC match. Final home game of the season. Lars, I don't know if I'd want to be in a hot tub right now. I can't lie.
Yeah, being a Seattle native, I'm not adjusting too well to this heat, so.
It's hot, people. It's hot here in Washington. We're not used to this. Davis King is getting the full front of it, but that's a fantastic ball out, but narrow field of Memorial Stadium. Anthony Godinez can't keep the ball in play. Peter Kingston with a rare miscue. McDowd with a long ball forward. Damian Alvarez cleaning up quite well. Looking to fool his defender, but got himself in a little bit of trouble. Referee on the far side does raise his flag for the ball crossing touchline.
That's the type of player Damian Alvarez is. He can dribble out of almost anything.
Looked to make his way out of pressure there, but the cost to doing business is a little bit of pressure for his team. Christian Eggman with the header away. Falls to Mo Mohammed, top of the box. Left-footed strike. First on target for either side so far this game. Lars, I say that, and I'm thinking back, did we have a shot on goal up until just now? I don't think we did.
Thinking back to a goal, I can't say we have.
It's been an attacking match from Ballard's point of view, but nothing to show for it. At the end of the day, the 0-0 on the score sheet is all that matters. And we count the points at the end of 90 minutes, and so far PDX maintain their position at the top of the standings. If the match were to finish right now, Ballard FC would clinch their playoff berth for the 2024-25 season. But the #1 seed would be out of their hands going into the final match against West Seattle Junction FC next weekend. Giesing seems to be a magnet to the ball, and top of the box. Eventually some very good defensive efforts by Sean Sent. But PDX showing a little bit of their teeth here as they venture forward into the Ballard box. Long throw with a flick on Christian Eggman with a loose touch, and Kai Briscoe with the acrobatics. The work's not done here as the ball fell ultimately to Jackson Finn. Blocks were made, but danger's not done from a Ballard FC point of view. Scrap on the far side. Ball comes away through Mo Mohammed. McDowd under a little bit of pressure. Fancy feet makes his way through. Mohammed to the far side. Left-footed service into the center of the box. Jackson Finn on the end of it. A simple save in the end for Lanphier. Looks to go quick. And the referee, I think, is having a word with the PDX forwards, and number 44, Andreo, I think he was impeding the goalkeeper as he was looking to distribute the ball forward. Lars Lanphier has a similar distribution style to myself, as I knew you were probably thinking of. The infamous drop kick. And we've seen many times through history of players looking to nick the ball off of a goalkeeper as they're looking to punt or do a drop kick, but
I've seen many Brazilians try to do it, but they always get called back, so I don't know why people still try it.
Yeah, it's definitely a cardable offense. It's in the goalkeeper's possession.
I gotta say though, I love Charlie Lanphier there looking for the transition and the counterattack. It drops off the defensive line and helps them be more accountable.
Yeah, definitely with the pace of a Richie Amon in behind. A well-placed ball and a casual mistake can definitely lead to a goal-scoring opportunity. Kai Briscoe doing very well on the far side. This is exactly the type of position you want to see. Alex Mejia makes his way through. Mo Mohammed with the initial clearance. Gaffney underneath it. Jackson Finn comes deep to do the defensive efforts. Oliver Giesing helps the ball forward. Giesing once more sizing up Luke Hammond and Sean Sent. Seems to be the glue to this PDX side in the center of the park, connecting defense to attack. But once more, it's such a promising part of the pitch. Kai Briscoe with a service that wasn't that awful, but it just seemed to come to nothing. So many bodies in the box, namely Alex Mejia, but couldn't find any of them. Long switch of play from Eamon to Kai Briscoe, who wins his header. And the second. Actually, no nonsense. Clearance from Ludwig saying, I've had enough of you, Briscoe. Stop winning headers.
I gotta say, Kai Briscoe really knows how to rally up a crowd, as we saw a couple minutes ago with that bicycle kick there on the end line.
Yeah, he really does. He's an athletic player, as we saw from his recent fantastic goal, as well as the acrobatics that followed. I'd love to see him on the score sheet again tonight. Fantastic combination. Richie Eamon and Peter Kingston returns the favor. This is exactly where you want to see Peter Kingston. Quick off his line is Davis King, as Alex Mejia was charging on bound. First real string of quality combination through the center of the park as Peter Kingston found himself in a position with multiple options. Elected for the most ambitious one, but again, credits to goalkeeper Davis King. Quick off his line. Gaffney, deft touch in field to Kingston. Well dealt with through to Ludwig. Giesing to the near side of Mohammed. Harassed by Juan Alvarez, but strong on the ball, and eventually Peter Kingston does his defensive duties, but the deflection comes to Jackson Finn. Pitched off to Barnes, whose service skips through everybody all the way to the far post into Lanford's hands. Lars, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a goal before this half ends. There's been so many opportunities on both ends. Kai Briscoe with a strong challenge from Anthony Godinez, and an opportunity here. They play short. Peter Kingston in plenty of space with the left-footed effort. A little bit of a tame shot. I'm surprised he went for it. Eventually makes his way to Richie Eamon. Skips his way inside. Overlapping run of Luke Hammond. Service in field. As we've seen many times, away from the PDX defense. Anywhere will do. Alvarez adventuring forward, but can't connect with Alex Mejia.
Davis King for sure here to take his time, as he would be happy to go into the half at 0-0.
Lars, we talked about it early in the beginning of this 45-minute period of soccer that we've seen. PDX would be more than happy to walk away with a point here today, as they would retain their position at the top of the standings. Alvarez fighting with Jackson Finn. Eventually losing out, makes his way to Kubrikov on the far side. Corner kick, 46 minutes on the clock. Not much stoppage time given, only 2 minutes, likely the last play of the match. Excuse me, for the half. Giesing stands over this in-swinging right-footed service. Rising Christian Eggman. Kobrikov brings it down. Eggman once more the defensive duties. Kobrikov once more to Jackson Finn. Left-footed strike by Luke Barnes, but the referee will not give them the corner kick, and the PDX bench, as well as starting 11, are furious. As the 45 minutes plus 2 of stoppage time were completed, the referee showing a yellow card to Jackson Finn for a little bit of dissent. I can't lie, Lars, if I were on the receiving side, I might be a little bit upset myself, as they did well to win the corner. But Ballard coming away from the half, as well as PDX 0-0. It's been an end-to-end fixture, but nothing to show for it. Lars, I think we could talk for a long time about these halftime team talks. Let's start on the PDX side first. They came into this match top of the table, clinching playoffs, 0-0 at halftime. What's the message?
Yeah, for sure. I have to say they have been pretty disciplined. For the chances Ballard has gotten, Davis King really hasn't had to make many too big of saves. If I were the coach, I would tell the team to limit the amount of fouls in their defensive third. Because of the threat of Peter Kingston, that's what Ballard's going to be looking for. And for Ballard FC, just keep pushing. I think they're getting their chances. I think they can upgrade a couple of their chances. But one bounce, one something goes their way, that's a goal.
No, without a doubt. Well, we'll be back in here in a little bit. We'll take a commercial break for halftime. 15 minutes on the clock. We'll be back to you shortly. Beautiful Memorial Stadium, Friday evening. Ballard, PDX, 0-0, halftime.
There's nothing quite like an Albert Lee appliance showroom. We're part of the community, and we carry over 90 brands and 11 exclusive brands you'll only find at Albert Lee.
We're the most beautiful showrooms in the area. We've got the best salespeople, and yet we're still one of the best price points in the industry.
We are a family. We take care of each other like family, and we take care of the customers like family.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Draw the Space Needle. How would you rate your drawing skills from 1 to 10?
Good 3-7, probably.
Art class wasn't my finest time.
Finishing touches?
God, this is horrible.
Pencils down.
Yo, what the heck is that?
Oh.
I was trying to envision it, and it didn't come out like I wanted it to.
Can you guys draw a portrait of the Ballard FC founder, Sam?
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we talking whole face or body?
Shoot, I forgot his hair.
This is awful.
What is that? It's a portrait.
No,
Not him in the distance.
Hope you appreciate the effort behind the products.
Are you a good artist?
Very artistic.
Who's first?
I won, so you go first.
Pierce is better in general.
Draw the Dix logo.
I think I'm gonna knock this one out the park. I don't know how to draw cursive. Oh. I've messed it. You're having fun?
Yeah.
Me too, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Ah, I missed a star.
I knew there was an apostrophe.
I kind of made my own logo for him. They could try use this one.
Mario?
Mario.
Oh, you think I look like Mario? The potato head is throwing me off a little bit. But good try.
Thank you.
Albert Lee has a huge appliance selection.
The knowledge that we bring on behalf of the sales staff, you're going to get the right answer and an honest answer from the beginning.
We can provide them with any price point, and they get the same great customer service no matter what it is that they're looking for.
And with Albert Lee, we have basically every brand available. And we're not just trying to sell a product, we're selling what meets your needs.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades. Shop online or in-store at one of our 6 locations.
Art is a celebration of our world and a crucial way to capture the stories and images around us. When we make art and when we appreciate art, we express what is valuable to us and make the world a more vibrant place. Art in the community allows a neighborhood to create a shared identity, establish a sense of place, and extend belonging. I'm Stevie Shao, and this is the Stevie Shao Kit with Ballard FC.
On the far side of the field.
We've been here since 1939. Who can say that? We're the oldest appliance company in the state of Washington. We do a better job than anybody out there, and we just have to go out and prove it every day.
Albert Lee, the original appliance experts for over 8 decades.
Who is most likely to forget their cleats on match day?
Maybe me.
Daniel Burko. He's always running out the door at the last second, and I'm always a little bit surprised he actually has his cleats.
Honestly, probably me.
Christian Engman. He forgot my laundry the other week. Yeah, Christian does my laundry.
Most likely to be on The Bachelor?
I think Pierluca.
Pierluca.
I would have to say myself for that one as well.
Yeah. Most likely to start singing in the locker room?
I'll put Leo Burney and Christian Engman together.
I think I gotta go Christian Engman again.
Peter Kingston. Or Christian Engman. He's a good... No, he's not a good singer, but he sings loud.
Ooh, definitely me. I can't lie. I used to do musical theater in my past, then I had to give it up for soccer.
This is a tough one. A lot of good hair on our team. You're gonna have to go Conrad Lee.
Not Pierre, not Christian. Definitely not Leo. Peter Kingston has very nice hair.
I'll go with Peter.
Charlie Lamphere. Like a big, but like good looking, like curly mop.
Joe Dale, except he got a haircut recently and he lost a little bit of the flow. It'll grow back, I hope.
He's got like a little slick action going on. Or, sorry, Charlie Holmes.
Charlie Holmes. That's a good-looking kid.
Girly, wavy, good flow.
Oof, there's a lot of drip. Could go many directions with this.
I can't lie. This year it's been disappointing from the guys. No one sticks out.
I think most consistently it's Christian Eggman.
Well, I mean, that's a given. But I didn't want to talk about myself.
You could give Alex Mejia a shout as well.
Damo thinks he does, but definitely not.
I'm gonna say me.
There are a fair amount of people who would sing in the locker room. Peter will sing, Leo will sing. If you get like Sweet Caroline, you know white people love that song.
Welcome back, Memorial Stadium. Cole Weaver here sitting alongside Lars Hellerin. Lars, it's been an interesting half. 0-0 at halftime. Two teams with attacking prowess as well as defensive solidarity, and it's a packed crowd. The Ballard FC faithful have definitely made their way out here for Fan Appreciation Night. It's the last home game of the season. We've seen a couple flashpoints, and the key figures that you would expect to be involved are definitely there. Alex Mejia, early in the match, puts the ball in the back of the net, but ultimately it was an offside flag that ruled away the chance. And everything else since then has essentially been a scramble on top of the box. From a PDX point of view, they've done a very good job to collect and eventually go forward. Davis King landing on top of a couple. They've had a couple opportunities on the other side. Nothing really major to scare Charlie Landfear. And it's been the theme of the night of half chances and missed building opportunities. Not much to speak of as we're showing a couple highlights here. Not what we're accustomed to. This might have been one of the best chances of the game as Richie Amon made his way to the byline but couldn't quite find a target in the center of the box, and Davis King spills just a little bit, and there was a little bit of continuous pressure from Peter Kingston's service to the back post over and over. But as we talked about, Lars, Ballard may not be happy with this result as they know they need 3 points to clinch the top, or excuse me, not clinch, but clinch a playoff berth, but make their way to the top of the playoff or the standings so far this season. PDX happy with whatever result comes tonight other than a loss as they'd maintain their position top of the box.
Yeah, Cole, I'm just curious what type of changes we'll see coming out for the start of the second half tactically, and as those changes happen, what windows or opportunities will that open up for the other team?
We got 45 minutes upcoming here, but we want to spend the minute 45 here definitely talking about some fantastic new revelations as Ballard FC is paving their way through history. New USLW is coming to Ballard next season. It's an amazing opportunity to see the women's side of the game continue to improve and grow. And Ballard has had a track record of helping athletes excel with the support of partners who definitely share the passion for great soccer and community. And this women's team will build on this foundation and share the same ownership group as Ballard FC, and continued by the pioneering of President Sam Zizette. But some of the new owners, familiar faces of the local soccer community. Jen Barnes, owner of one of the local pubs, Rough and Tumble, as well as captain of Reign FC, along with Olivia Vanderyaert and Jen Barnes. These are some of the backers of Seattle Storm as well, signed on as investors. This is a collective ownership of Seattle-based businesswomen, which reflects a very strong commitment to women's sports and the community involved. We're extremely excited to see the development of this league as well as of this team, and hopefully they'll have very similar success as this men's Ballard FC team has had on a national scale. It's nothing but amazing. Lars, obviously you and I have been very connected to this community. How excited are you to see the development of this league and the development of the culture that Ballard has continued to grow?
Yeah, first off, I think it's awesome that Ballard is obviously expanding with the women's side. It only just shows that the Ballard men's team has had so much success, not only on the field, but with the fans and the community outreach. And then with adding another team, how much more will that expand, and how much more opportunity will that give a lot of women in the area?
Yeah, without a doubt. And the USL women's pathway is very different to the men's pathway. On the men's side, you have the championship level, which is just underneath the MLS, with large. That's where you're playing currently with Tacoma Defiance. Underneath that's USL League One and then USL League Two, which is where your Ballard FC are playing. On the women's side, you have the USL Super League, which is on the professional level, and then the pre-professional level is the USL W League. So Ballard is implementing a team at that level to really help with the pre-professional development, to give the path to pro for some of these young women athletes that are looking to grow their careers past the collegiate level. So it's an amazing opportunity. It's something that Ballard very much strives for. Want to give a special shout out to Tiffany Malik, who will serve as the VP and focus of the women's team alongside of Sam Sazette. And so she brings some firsthand experience as a former soccer player and athletic trainer on the collegiate and pre-professional level. But it's such an amazing opportunity, and Lars, I can't wait to see the development next year for the 2025-2026 season. But bringing us back home today, you know, it's a very important match. 45 minutes left on the clock. We see both teams getting set for the second half here. We're going to do our best to maintain the updates of any sort of substitutions that may have occurred at halftime and will definitely occur throughout the second half. But ultimately, from a Ballard point of view, it's win and we're in. Everything to play for here with 45 minutes on the clock. United PDX looking to hold strong as they have throughout the majority of this season. Ballard know they can score goals, but the question is, can they do it with the best of the best in the league? Richie Amon stands over this ball. A wide receiver lineup of Kingston Mejia. Center referee holds play for a moment. I did my best to build it. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. There's only so much that I can control. But finally, we have the halftime whistle blown. Ball back to Christian Eggman as he looks to launch the ball forward to immediately kickstart Ballard FC's second half pursuit of national glory as they make their way to the postseason. First half possession leading to nothing but half opportunities, looking to capitalize and make the most of some of those in the second half here. Lars, we talked about this pre-halftime. Coming out of the locker room and this, with seeing the initial flow of play, what do you think James Riley was saying to his team in how they needed to start the second half and the intention they needed to have early in this game?
I think the biggest thing for this first half is the first 5 minutes. If Ballard's on top of it the first 5 minutes, they get a couple shots, build the confidence, I'm fairly confident they'll score a goal.
Ballard's no stranger to challenges throughout the years, and they've won a corner kick early with Peter Kingston standing over it. Right on top of the goalkeeper, very well done, and dealt with by Davis King. Gaffney with his back to goal. Strong in possession on the byline and wins a corner kick for his side against Anthony Godinez. It looks like Juan Alvarez will take on the opposing corner. Service all the way to the far post, finds Eggman. Mejia with the seconds, but eventually cleared. Hammond keeps it alive, but can't find Peter Kingston. And away by Kobrakov into the crowd. Crowd may be getting a little bit hungry as they're accustomed to Dick's Burgers being thrown around quite regularly. No goals on the score sheet today, so therefore no Dick's Burgers as of yet. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to have to go buy them if you're going to want to get a Dick's Burger so far. But I'm going to stay an optimist, Lars. I think we're going to see some burgers being thrown. Alvarez in possession. Gaffney. Gaffney felt he made his way around Anthony Godinez, but center referee Justin St. Pierre having none of it. Pleading his case is Gaffney. Whereas, as we know, it's a lost cause of referees. Once they've made their decision, they're not going back on it. Doesn't matter what you say.
As this game continues, I'm curious what James Riley will have up his sleeve in regards to substitutions. As I look at the bench today, I can't really see another true target 9 other than Ray Ramundo, who's a fantastic player with his feet, and he would for sure impose a different threat.
Yeah, it's a good point to be said. As come back to that just in a moment here, as Toberkov with a little bit of fancy feet finds his way to his forward Jackson Finn. Gaffney doing his work and winning a goal kick. But to your point, Lars, Ballard a little bit strapped from the position of number 9. Austin Brummett dealing with an injury. Danny Burko actually transferring away from Ballard FC. It's a topic maybe for another day, but ultimately Alex Mejia is a homestead name for Ballard FC. Peter Kingston doing very well, maybe from a little bit of a loose pass from Lanphier. Picks out Richie Amon, who does equally well to maintain possession. Alvarez. Peter Kingston. Hammond back to Kingston, connecting with Amon.
As a potential League 2 player myself, I do recognize the importance of these 2 games as Ballard is searching for that potential playoff berth. But not only that, this is a very important time for teams to start to find their momentum so that they could go into the playoffs on a hot running streak.
Now, Lars, obviously, you know what it takes to win a national title. And you and I had the experiences together. Far side, Richie Amon's called offside, but we had the experiences together of exploring the national level of soccer on a USL2 level in the first season of Ballard FC, and it was a unique challenge. We made our way to the Midwest and faced some different teams and some different formations and different level of players, and ultimately throughout the second season, obviously with that experience came a lot of understanding, and that led to the growth, the development, and ultimately a national title. So, as you mentioned before, a lot of these players out there are very familiar on what it takes to win a national title, but at the same time, it has to be said, many are not. Particularly if we're looking back to front, Charlie Lanphier knew with this Ballard FC side, and the goalkeeping position has been a rather turbulent role after you've left. A back line which has been fairly solidified throughout the season, but the left back position with the foregoing of Captain Lucia Titane has definitely been a position of wonder. Charlie Gaffney on the ball here, one that has been a returner for multiple years and knows how to win. It's a team that has a healthy mix, I'd say. So I'm curious to see how they're going to face some of these challenges in the postseason, in the pre-postseason, to get the job done. Mejia with a great ball inside to Peter Kingston. King does enough to smother once more. Lars, to finish my ramble, it's a team that's made up of previous winners at the USL2 level, but across the board, winners on the collegiate as well as domestic level. All of these players know how to win. The question is, can they come together in a cohesive unit to get the job done?
Couldn't agree more, Cole. At the end of the day, it's how the team performs together. And I would have to say, I do see a good group of a core ex-Ballard guys from last year, and I think they're doing a very good job imposing the culture.
Hammond with the defensive efforts. Richie Hammond with the cleanup. Alvarez. Kai Briscoe with plenty of space in front of him to run into. Definitely has the pace to burn. Gets his cross off, but cleaned out as he does so and wins a free kick for his side.
I'm curious there if they brought on Jamin Peters to match Kai Briscoe's pace along that sideline.
Yeah, I think they definitely did, and as we mentioned, we're trying to keep up to date with the subs. We don't have the luxury of a Copa America, Euros, MLS, Premier League, Serie A, whatever you want to name it. We're doing our best out here, but Jamin Gogo Peters has made his way onto the pitch, definitely to match the pace and athleticism that Kai Briscoe provides, but looks like he was second in that opportunity there as Alvarez fires it into the box. Luke Hammond picks up on the far side. Service leads to another throw-in opportunity. Long throw, center of the box, just over the head of Engman, and Gaffney on his weaker foot can't keep the ball down, and looks like PDX is going to make a couple substitutions here in addition to the halftime changes. At a glance, I see Brandon Knapp as well as Alexander Ward. We're going to see those subs come in at the next stoppage of play. As PDX elects to use their goal kick for possession base, but immediately in a 50-50 opportunity. Well done by Jackson Finn, who finds the ball in return but can't find its way through Christian Eggman. Well done. Eggman on his own, but manages to find Peter Kingston. Mejia trying to pounce on top. Sean Sent keeping the ball alive through Juan Alvarez. Or excuse me, Luke Hammond. Damian Alvarez to a low receiving Gaffney. Connects well now with Juan Alvarez, who makes his way to the end line. Fires it to the top of the box and away. Just for a Ballard FC throw-in, and now PDX will have the opportunity to buy their substitutions. As we mentioned, Alexander Ward making his way onto the pitch, number 24. Brandon Knapp as well.
On the jog, gentlemen, on the jog. Let's go, let's go, let's go. We want to get your guys in here. You can go out here, go out here, go out here.
Jackson Finn to come off, and that's a surprise to me because he's been one of United PDX's biggest players here, and he's been a handful for Ballard.
It's always interesting substitutions when a player that's caused so much trouble is being removed at a time in the match where there's so much opportunity left to cause problems, but have to rely on head coaches to make the decisions. That's why they're in the position they are. And Kai Briscoe, long looping header straight into the mix. King doing enough to get a fist to it. Gaffney with some fantastic defensive efforts and wins his side another throw-in.
By the looks of it for me, my guess is that the coach felt that they can't just keep absorbing the pressure they are, so he for sure probably brought in some more defensive players.
Yeah, Lars, we talked about that in the first half of whether PDX was going to be solid in defense and ultimately hold down the hatches and maybe demoralize the Ballard FC front line, or the other way around, of Ballard doing so well to maintain possession and continuously pressing that they'll find the cracks in the PDX back line. Still yet to be deciphered, but has to be said, PDX still holding strong. Briscoe with another service long into the box. Similar outcome, but this time makes its way to a corner kick. Similar stacked formation with Richie Amon, but Juan Alvarez elects to go direct, and well done by Davis King to get 2 strong fists to it, all the way to the far post.
It seems to me that Ballard keeps wanting to put that ball right on top of the keeper, but Davis King have dealt well with it. I wonder if they're to change their service.
Cameron directly on top of the box. King did come, but Peter Kingston will definitely want that one back. Very much a 2-footed player. You'd expect him to do better. That ball lands to his left or his right foot. At the very least, keep that on frame and ask the question. But we remain 58 minutes on the clock. So far in the beginning of this half, Charlie Lanfear's had little to do. On the other side, Davis King very busy. All down to the possession-oriented attacking threat that Ballard provide, but the defensive resilience holding strong for United PDX front. Straight up into the air, won by Peters. Kuberkov doing well to maintain. Early service into the box, dangerous. Makes its way all the way through to Peters. Sized up by 2 Ballard FC defenders. Brandon Knapp all the way through. Eventually to the far side. First real spell of possession and attacking threat for PDX in this half.
United PDX happy to keep their four defenders back.
Header directed on frame. Very simple save in the end. Ultimately by Alexander Ward to Lanfear. Richie Amon with his soon-to-be trademark flick beyond the defender. Found a body in the way of getting past him, and referee St. Pierre was having none of it. Couple changes being made here now by Ballard. Looks like Gaffney's coming off for Joe Dale. Juan Alvarez making his way for Chris Myers, the UW center midfielder. Luke Hammond also making way for Ray Mendez. Interested to see some of the positional, tactical changes being made here. Looks like Chris Myers making his way to the left back position. Like for like change in the center of the park for Ray Mendez, for Juan Alvarez, and Joe Dale, the ever energetic, tigerish defender as well as attacker for Charlie Gaffney. Lars, what do you think of these changes? You mentioned the bench, you mentioned the opportunity. What do you think James Riley really sees with these substitutions?
Yeah, just looking at Joe Dale and Ray Menendez down there, they bring a lot of energy. They're both very high energy players who love to run, love to dribble, and I think that imposes a different threat to United PDX.
I think it's a really good point. We've seen a lot of direct play, balls in behind, not a lot of necessarily creativity from the wingers other than Richie Amon, who has still maintained his position on the pitch. But a Joe Dale and a Ray Mendez, without a doubt, definitely do pose that different threat you're mentioning. What a ball that is. Fired in. Eventually makes its way back to Alvarez. Under a little bit of scrutiny and pressure, but does enough. Joe Dale, first involvement on the ball. Handball by Ludwig. Promising position of the pitch here. The Juan Alvarez coming off just now, no in-swinging option. It'll be the right-footed Peter Kingston standing over this.
Yeah, I was about to say a left footer on this one would have been a good choice. As I see Chris Myers walking over to the ball right now to hit an in-swinging service, which is very difficult for the keeper.
Yeah, it's one of those where you have to stay home just a little bit more as a goalkeeper and respect the option of the ball finding its way into your gloves. The referee blowing his whistle prior, and I think Chris Myers maybe he'll be okay with the referee blowing that whistle. That wasn't the best service he had as it found a near post defender. Take two. Similar looking ball and a similar looking possession. Sean Sent loops the ball back centrally. Mejia comes to challenge, away by Davis King. The pacey Peters, can he keep the ball in play? He can, and skips inside, 3 defenders standing on top of him. Does very well to maintain possession, but Joe Dale, such a good work defensively, breaks away with the ball. The Crowder at his back. Drifts his way inside and pings the ball wide to Richie Amon. Sean Sent calmly on the ball. Finding Alvarez in a unique position, which I will say he's not unaccustomed to.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about Damian Alvarez. He's not afraid to get forward, and he knows the cover of Sean Sent. Kai Briscoe will be behind him.
Ballard had a break in play, but elected to maintain the possession in a more methodical way. Peter Kingston on the near side, sizing up Godinez. And Mendez, first real involvement. Peter Kingston, nick off the defender. Another corner kick. The pressure is continuing as the Ballard FC faithful starting to get behind their team. PDX won't be too unaccustomed to this, though. This is what they've done all season. Most clean sheets in the league, as well as the best goals against record. But can they hold strong against the team that has the best goals for record? Myers with the service in. Strong header. Christian Eggman, but directly at goalkeeper Davis King, who elects to go quick and wasted opportunity there. But Christian Eggman, so dangerous in the opposing box. Anywhere but the goalkeeper, and that would be danger. Davis King is thankful that ball was down his throat. All eyes would have been on him if he hadn't saved it.
As Ballard got close there, you can even see the crowd getting more involved tonight.
So necessary here, the last home game of the regular season. Well dealt with by Brandon Knapp, reading that infield cross ball by Richie Amon, and it eventually comes away. Kai Briscoe out of position, but continues his defensive pursuits as Sean Sent fills in at right back. Foul on the far side by Mo Mohammed. On Mo Mohammed by Peter Kingston. Yellow card being shown, second of the match. As we come back to see that fantastic opportunity, Christian Eggman was under a little bit of pressure, but directly, again once more, as we see some of the hot tubbers have made their way out of the hot tub. Lars, no more hot tub for tonight. It's interesting, as it starts to cool down, you think now would be the time you'd want to be in the hot tub.
Hopefully we can see a winner and we can see someone celebrating in there.
I would love to see a dolphin dive into the tub. I can't lie. It's a dangerous position. Charlie Lamphere setting his wall even with the, setting his line even with the wall, which I think is the correct decision here. As deep as it, as high as it can be, again. Lamphere getting a fist on it. It's a little bit soft. Fired back centrally. Christian Eggman in the right position to clear. Mejia with the defensive work. Wait for a throw-in.
At the end of the day, I love Lamfree's decision there. Very, very confident, very calm, very composed.
Dealt with the initial threat. Trusted his team to continue what he started. Away by Alvarez. Mejia giving pursuit. Mendez with a strong challenge. Wins his header. Mejia top down defending, but falls for a PDX opportunity, and wayward shot wide. Leads to nothing. Briscoe, route one ball in behind. Mejia gives chase. Bouncing opportunity, Joe Dale. Only one for the chase. Mendez not winning the foul that he was asking for, but Kai Briscoe, my word, sir. Such amazing defending is given the opportunity for Richie Amon in the far post. Can he receive? No, he can't. To the byline, but runs out of real estate. Approaching the 70-minute mark, Ballard have already made 3 substitutions. Do you see any more subs being made? I'm looking down at the bench. We have a couple options that are warming up on the far side. Rafi Otero, maybe one that I would highlight as one that could create goal-scoring opportunities. So far, the defensive efforts that PDX has done all season, holding strong.
With the loss of Austin Brummett and Mejia been getting a little bit more minutes recently, I wonder how long he can last in this game.
That's a good point, Lars. Obviously, in a match like this, it's very end-to-end. And as we hear Ballard, faithful in the crowd, very unhappy with the call, as Richie Amon potentially could have broken away.
United PDX for sure confident and composed to slow this ball down here.
King with a very good service to the near side of Brandon Knapp. Halftime substitution. Briscoe away. Combination of Mejia and Mendez doing well, but unfortunate. Not win possession, but ball makes its way through to Oliver Giesing. Drives at the back line. Referee bringing the play back, I believe, for a handball on Sean Sant. On Damian Alvarez. I think I need to see a replay on it to be sure. Everybody just a little bit confused. The referee very sure of himself. As Giesing was looking to play that ball in behind, clips the ball, or the hand of Damian Alvarez on the way through. Diverts the trajectory. Knapp stands over this left-footed service. Mejia doing well on the far side. Myers, second effort. Giesing back into the box once more. Acrobatics from Briscoe. Joe Dale, it has to be said, amazing defensive efforts so far as his contributions. Kobrikov. Giesing picks up the loose pieces. So does Mendez and Peter Kingston.
As we approach the 72nd minute here, it's super important for Ballard to just remain confident and remain calm. You can't be pushing too much, can't be impatient, can't be rushing balls. Keep their heads. They know how to score late in games.
A reminder for those of you joining us maybe potentially late in this game, 0-0 so far. A couple opportunities on both sides of the pitch. No clear-cut opportunities either way. Ballard need at least 1 point to clinch a playoff berth. PDX have already clinched their playoff berth as Peter drives through, and tame effort in the end results in a goal kick. But it's one where there's immediate on-field tactical conversations, but at the same time there's statistic and table conversations which would result in serious consequences at the end of the season. But this is important, as we're seeing Kai Briscoe had sat down a moment ago. He's on his feet now. Maybe just a little bit of cramp. Hopefully,
Guys, don't throw him if you want
that is
water,
all it
come
is,
inside.
as he's
Don't
such an
throw him
important player on the right side of Ballard's defense and attack.
With how hot it's been in Seattle and with how much Kai Briscoe's been running tonight, I could understand why that's happening.
We're good, guys. We're good. Get a sip and go back.
Kai Briscoe seems to be moving all right, wearing the captain's armband for this evening. Quick water break for both sides. I think this is a needed refresh as we approach the final 15 minutes of this match. Back to Eggman, who connects well, and emphatic clearance away. Peters with a touch that forces Knapp to the end line and can't make anything of it.
These past 5 or 10 minutes, the momentum has shifted a little bit in favor of United PDX.
It's early in the second half. We saw Ballard FC come out with an intention of attacking a 10. But it hasn't led to any clear-cut opportunities or goals, obviously, as we remain at 0-0. United PDX will finish their season away against Lane United, who last week beat Ballard FC in a controversial 1-0 win. Ballard FC will face West Seattle Junction FC, who they say quite easily walked over in the first meeting this season. If it ends in a 0-0 draw today, both teams will receive 1 point for their efforts, which will put United PDX at 27, and it'll put Ballard at 24. Still very much in the balance with everything to play for at the final match of the season. The consequences will come postseason, determining who each team will ultimately face in the national tournament. Amen with a burst of pace away. There's a couple defenders collapsing on top of him. Elects to come in field, and has to be said, looked like a strong challenge from my side. Tangle of bodies with Kai Briscoe and Peters. Giesing eventually away. Point of controversy has continuously happened on the far side, and I have to be neutral in this conversation. It looked like a strong challenge on Richie Amen in live time. From the Ballard faithful point of view, it looked maybe like a foul, but well done to the referee. Peters on the half turn. Pocket of space in field.
I'm very surprised with that call there. From my view up here, I was pretty confident that one was offsides.
Yeah, he looked to be in a world of his own with so much space. The touch let him down. It was Alexander Ward. Ballard remaining patient and calm from our perspective here in the booth.
I then wonder at what point tonight would Ballard feel more like they have to push more guys forward and take more risks.
Yeah, Lars, you read my mind. I was about to ask the question, at what time does it become Hail Mary? Joe Dale on the end of this service, faced up by Knapp. Kai Briscoe looks like he's moving just fine. Kingston finds Joe Dale, cuts to the top of the box, finds Briscoe. Mejia, top of the 6-yard box, even further. They're making their way inwards. The referee calling the opposite direction of Ballard FC against Kai Briscoe for an aggressive sliding challenge. Again, to the dismay of the attending Ballard FC faithful. Mejia got himself in a point of bother. Kai Briscoe came in very strongly. Didn't really connect too much with the man. But center referee St. Pierre definitely saw something that warranted the foul. Maybe a little gamesmanship here, Lars. We're approaching the 80th minute, as you mentioned. At what point do Ballard just decide we have to go full ahead? But at the same token, they don't need to win this match. It has to be said. A tie will clinch playoff berth. Do you risk going for 3 points and secure, or not even securing, just making your way to the top of the bracket? Or do you batten down the hatches and say we're happy with securing our playoff berth and we'll let it decide at the last game of the season?
That's just the question, isn't it, Cole, as I look down at the coaching staff and I see them talking as we just spoke. But I think it just depends on the momentum of the game. If Ballard were getting chances, obviously I think they keep pressing. But as we saw, United PDX have had the best of Ballard in the past 10-15 minutes. So I guess when does it come down to just having the balance between the two?
Time will tell. I think from a player's point of view, both of these teams clearly want to win. Overload on the near side here, and Richie Amon does find Peter Kingston. Sizing up Peters, gets his service off to the far post. It's Mejia, and into the back of the net! Alex El Tigre Mejia comes up big for his side when he's called upon. You love to see it! Lars, what a service from Peter Kingston. Richie Amon found the ball to the near side. With Kingston in so much space, he picks his head up and sees the one and only Alex Mejia on the far post, who lets the crowd know that he is here to contribute to this title defense. And what a finish this is.
Wow. I don't think Alex Mejia could have asked for anything better there. That's brilliant. But not to discredit him, that was a phenomenal pick out in the top corner there. Brilliant.
Oh boy, has the dynamic changed. An immediate substitution by head coach Troy Reddy. Coming off is Oliver Giesing. But what a storybook finish for Alex Mejia. He's been out of the team for a little bit with some injuries. with some competition. He's found his way into the starting lineup, and he is a massive goal for this side this season.
Fans are on their feet. Dick's Burgers are flying. What a night.
Richie Amon started this movement, and he's been in danger all game. Great clipped ball into the center of the pitch. Can Ballard FC continue this momentum, as you mentioned, Lars? Joe Dale sizes up defender. Davis King gets a hand to it, and eventually away. Chris Myers with a great touch to bring it down and control. Ray Mendez with some fancy feet wins a corner. This is what Ballard FC is all about. Maintaining the pressure, continuing their momentum. Can they get two and seal this game? Again, the implications are massive at the end of this season. Crowded 6-yard box. Peter Kingston with the in-swinging service. Again to the back post. Goalkeeper Davis King lost his footing and fell down and might need some attention here. God, Lars, I would not want to be Davis King in this situation. Peter Kingston, that service, it looks like it's landing on top of your head, but then all of a sudden the pace of that ball, it makes its way to the far post. And you know as well as I do, if your first step is forward, you're screwed. The ball is beating you.
No, for sure, Cole. Couldn't agree more. It's one of the most difficult services to deal with as a keeper.
This time on the near side, it's Chris Meyer of UW. Left-footed in-swinging service. This time hits the near post. Away by Knapp. Oh, Alex Mejia. The crowd will love that.
Ballard needs to keep riding this momentum to close out the game.
Yeah, the strong challenges, the 50-50s are being won by the boys in champagne with red tint. And here comes Joe Dale to the byline, sizes up the goalkeeper and hits the side netting. But Lars, as you mentioned, the momentum is in Ballard's favor. Can they secure a second? Mejia wanted that ball cut back to his feet, but I don't blame Joe Dale for going for goal. To be critical, that should have made the goalkeeper work. Aimless ball by Davis King. Combination on the far side through Peter Kingston. Clipped ball all the way over to Joe Dale, who's isolated against Brandon Knapp. Through the legs of Brandon Knapp, makes his way around him. Joe Dale, fantastic work. This time does make the keeper get his hands on the ball, but in the end, a simple save. Oh, Joey Dale. Brilliant footwork, though, to get past your defender.
Joe Dale's been isolated twice over there now, and it's worked in his favor. So I think Peter Kingston's making the right move to just isolate him.
Loose touch by Ryan Ludwig, but eventually finds its way over to Mo Mohammed, whose header goes out of bounds harmlessly. Once more we see the effort from Joe Dale. Oh, he wanted that nutmeg from the get-go. Donovan McClellan making his way into the fray. Knapp through Charlie Lanford, who will definitely look to take some time off the clock here. Game management is huge at this point in the match, Lars. Charlie Lamphere knows that. Quality flick on by Alex Mejia. Joe Dale was in pursuit. I believe a foul is being given on Mejia. A little bit of soft, in my opinion, as he pulled out of the challenge, but we play on. Yes, Joe Dale. Fantastic defensive efforts once more. He's been a fantastic substitute since coming on at about 60 minutes. Kingston picks up the seconds. Infield to Richie Amon. Top of the box, Alex Mejia once more. Strong challenge. Ball stays in play, Mejia stays down. Far side as PDX make their way forward. It's Isaiah Easley on the ball. Service into the box. Oh, that's such good work by Damian Alvarez, stopping a surefire goal and immediately the other direction. I don't have time to breathe as Richie Amon picks up the ball. Finds Ray Mendez in plenty of space. Isolated against Ryan Ludwig. Eventually the support comes in field. And we have a moment to breathe, but Lars, that was amazing by Damian Alvarez. That was a goal.
Yeah, that was brilliant from Damian. I don't think a lot of center backs get the credit they deserve sometimes. That was a fairly easy goal-scoring opportunity that Damian Alvarez stepped up big for.
I think you and I know well. Charlie Lamphere will definitely go to his center back, Damian Alvarez, at the end of this and say, fantastic work, sir, I wasn't getting there. That's what a team is all about. We are reaching the 90 minutes. Stoppage time will be announced here momentarily. Looks like one final substitution is being readied by Ballard FC. Alvarez. 4 additional minutes being added to play here. Can Ballard hold out this 1-0 lead to not only secure Ballard FC's playoff berth, but launch their success into first position?
Brilliant composure there by goalkeeper Charlie.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad you brought us back to that. It's a difficult play, a bouncing ball, and he kept possession very well. If Ballard can maintain possession for 3 more minutes, that is all that is needed. They're definitely capable. Joe Dale ends up heading it straight into the hands of Davis King. Distributes quickly. Infield, Mo Mohammed. Loose touch by Kai Briscoe. And the card is coming out for the Ballard FC captain. Mejia pleading his case to maintain consistency from the referee, but I don't think he has a case to plead in this instance here. And Mejia will ultimately make his way off the pitch. El Tigre with a vital goal in this match. Elliot Spatz replacing him, the energetic forward, as we look at this goal-scoring moment in this match. Peter Kingston, such a good service, and Mejia makes no mistake. So important, but can Ballard hold out to get all 3 points? Time will tell.
It's
looking like United PDX is pushing almost everyone forward here as they're searching for that last goal here.
I don't think, Lars, they have many other options. It wasn't too long back when Ballard forego a goal in the dying embers of a match to end up tying. The difference that I'm immediately seeing here is the original set position of the line that Charlie Lanphier set. Well, it's a yard or two outside of the 18 box. We see the starting position of Charlie Lanphier, and I think this is Peters making his way off here. Unfortunate to see. Doesn't look like he'll be able to continue. It was a second half substitution. Wish the best for him.
Important for Richie to see here on this near side that there's two players.
Yeah, you definitely want to communicate the overload. I think Joe Dale already sees it and is identifying it. Service by Brandon Knapp. Lanphier comes to collect and easily, calmly done. Well done, sir.
I loved his starting spot there as he didn't even have to go to the ball much. It was brilliant.
Makes it look easy, but I promise you it's not. Anywhere will do on the other half of the pitch. Elliot Spatz wins the initial header. We are in the final seconds of stoppage time here. Ballard approaching their playoff berth at the final home match of the 2024-25 season. All to play for. Throw-in goes PDX way. Christian Engman with a strong challenge. The crowd knows it, but all fair play by the referee, and Ballard wins the throw. We have had our 94 minutes of play. There was an injury at the beginning of stoppage time, so we're likely going to see some additional minutes. Joe Dale in acres of space, and he knows it. Calm on the ball. And anywhere will do. By Myers. Richie Amon starting the press up high, wins the ball. So vital to defend on the other half of the pitch. Takes so much pressure off of your team. Free kick given to PDX, but I don't think Ballard will be too mad about it. The yellow card will be shown to Richie Amon for consistent infringement. Not for the severity of the initial fouls. The referee initiates multiple consecutive violations.
Could this be the last sequence of the game?
I think it might be. Again, the starting position so important here. Davis King standing over it, likely going to serve the ball directly into the thick of it. We have an overload on the near side here, and the substitutes and reserves are definitely making well aware of it. Ball makes its way in, and it is Spatz who ends up winning the initial header. And the ball is blazed over the top. It has to be said, you'd expect that to be the match. Referee gives the goal kick. Whistle in mouth, and the game is finished. Ballard FC, congratulations! You have clinched 2024-25 playoff berth. Not only that, but you have climbed the table in the Northwest Division. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to be with you throughout the season here at Memorial Stadium. This was the final home match for this season. The final match of the season will be away 1 p.m. Sunday, July 14th against West Seattle Junction FC. All to play for, all the same, as Ballard looked to clinch the #1 seed in the playoffs. But Alex Mejia today with an ever so important goal at a time where his team needed it the most. Lars, your final thoughts.
Wow. As always, Ballard FC, late goal drama, great football. What a night.
What a night indeed. Well, logging out here for the final time at Memorial Stadium. Cole Weaver, Lars Helwin in the booth. It ends. Ballard FC 1, PDX United 0. We'll be with you again, hopefully soon. Enjoy your evenings, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.
right, we've got Coach Riley after tonight's 1-0 win, clinching playoffs and putting us top of the division table. How are you feeling?
Fantastic. I'm over the moon for, first and foremost, the players who have dedicated this summer, and then for our fans in the club. I think it's, a momentous occasion to do it at Memorial Stadium and put ourselves in the opportunity to be in the playoffs and go for another national championship.
The goal scorer tonight, Alex Mejia, he hasn't played as much as he has in previous seasons, but he proved his worth tonight. What did you think of his performance?
I've always thought the world of Mejia, and obviously you saw him start and play significant minutes in the Open Cup, and so it's just been injuries. Him and I and Coach Matunda, we had a heart-to-heart in the last couple of weeks, and we just said, wait for your time. We know of your quality, and we told him he'd get his opportunity, and for me, he's been fantastic. I mean, that's a absolutely epic goal. Phenomenal ball by Peter, and an absolute monstrous header, so I'm so happy for him, because I know it's been a difficult decision for him, maybe not what he anticipated, but I just said, just stay in it. There's still significant games and moments, and we listened to him, he listened to us, and so we really reconnected, and we've always known of his quality, and so we're very happy for him.
You got your first clean sheet in July. It's your first one in a while. What did you think of the defensive performance from Lanfear in goal and the whole back line?
Phenomenal. Lanfear organizing the back line. He came out, made the saves that he needed to, came out and crosses. His distribution was excellent. His communication was excellent, and that back line was awesome. I thought, the amount of block services and block shots that we were able to make tonight, I thought was a phenomenal effort, and I just thought a total team effort on the defensive side of the ball. So we're very happy.
Now, in less than 48 hours, you travel to your crosstown rivals, and a win will clinch the division. How do you get the boys ready?
Recovery. I mean, we'll get them the nutrition. We'll have the recovery stuff tonight for them, and then as much as rest and recovery tomorrow, and then we'll have a little bit of a regen Sunday just to shake out the legs, and then we'll set up a game plan that allows us to be on the front foot as well on Sunday in a difficult place to play. I mean, West Junction is a great team, huge amount of respect for what they've been able to do. Their coach, Eric Ullman, a good friend, good mentor. That group will be ready to play, and so we'll certainly play our best as well.
All right. Awesome. Great win tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Thank you.